Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 video games you can't play in public. For this list, we're looking at games that would probably get you some weird looks if you were to play them in public. Note that we're focusing more on games where a normal bystander might not understand the full context of the game. Would you dare to play any of these games in front of a stranger? Share with us in the comments below. Number 10, Yakuza series.
Oh, come here, Ichi.
Hey, it's my turn to hold him.
On the surface level, the Yakuza games would seem like the least offensive game to play in public. For the most part, you see good-hearted folks getting tangled with different Yakuza clans in dramatic and well-written stories. Nothing super alarming aside from some occasional graphic violence. However, it's the sub-stories that might cause some to silently judge you as they tend to get weirdly absurd.
He probably wanted to buy his mom a nice meal, so he got some cash out of the bank, you know?
That doesn't mean it's okay to be late on his payments.
Investigating cults, bizarre boss fights, teaching a woman how to be a dominatrix, it all looks strange when viewed out of context. So this would be a play at your own risk when sitting on a bus or train.
Are you guys Yakuza? They've gotta be. Look, he's got the hair and everything.
Number 9, The Binding of Isaac. The Binding of Isaac is a roguelike dungeon crawler that tells the story of a young boy being abused by his overly religious mother. But even with the disgusting and difficult boss fights, your average Joe might not understand that. Most folks would probably focus on the grotesque characters and the fact that many of the levels are littered with poo. They might also find it weird that the main character is fighting off horrendous creatures by crying. You might not be judged too harshly for playing such a game, but those unfamiliar may choose not to sit too close to you. Number 8, Senran Kagura series. One could argue that just about any video game with an anime appearance would get you weird looks regardless of how many people might be in the room with you. In some cases, that may be true, but we really have to point out the Senran Kagura series. It isn't just about the occasional flashes of self-censored nudity either. The skimpy outfits and boob physics would make anyone think you might have problems, and they wouldn't care if you were playing for the fighting game mechanics, the third-person shooter gameplay, or, heaven forbid, the story. We aren't condemning folks for playing the Senran Kagura games, but if you're gaming outside of your home, maybe avoid booting this one up if you don't want bystanders judging. Number 7, Dante's Inferno.
And such dire laments issued forth, as come only from those who are truly wretched, suffering, and forever lost.
Much like The Binding of Isaac, Dante's Inferno holds some religious overtones. Unlike The Binding of Isaac, it holds a lot of graphic violence and imagery. Now, considering how big Sony's God of War has become, which is the kind of game Dante's Inferno somewhat copies, the ultra-violence wouldn't cause anyone to really bat an eye. Although there are two specific moments in the game where you'll hope wandering eyes aren't around you. One shows a nude woman under a blanket, while another shows a rather revealing depiction of Satan. Those who have played will know what we're talking about.
And all that is good shall be gone from the universe.
Number 6, Catherine.
You mean like where you're in danger?
No, where you actually die.
In general, Catherine was yet another home run delivered unto us by Shin Megami Tensei developer Atlus. A man finds himself trapped in a love triangle, struggling to choose between his terrible fiancé and a deadly succubus disguised as an alluring young lady. He begins experiencing nightmares that cause him to suffer from paranoia and delusions.
Who's that?
What are you doing here?
It's horrific, yes, but it also boasts an extremely well-written cast. To someone who has never heard of Catherine, though, none of that matters. It's a game with hearts and sexual overtones, and you're a perv for simply wanting challenging puzzles and an excellent story.
No, this is just a nightmare. I gotta get out of here. Whoa!
Number 5. Doki Doki Literature Club. Speaking of everything pink and heart-shaped, Doki Doki Literature Club has become notorious for its lengthy facade. For a while, you're led to believe it's a dating sim until it begins showing disturbing text and imagery, thrusting you into a horrific tale. There's simply no convincing a total stranger that you're not an oddball. Whether you're caught looking at a suggestive image of one of the characters being super close to you, or witnessing one of their terrifying deaths, chances are you will be seen as a creep. With the expanded version on the Nintendo Switch, you might not want to play this on the go. Number 4. Dead or Alive series. Even the most hardcore fans will admit that no one really plays the Dead or Alive games for the story. Oh, you play it for the tight controls, unique mechanics, and insane combos. Wait, the characters can wear skimpy outfits in these fights? You know, this entire time we've played Dead or Alive, we never even noticed, we swear. There's really an interesting system in place where you have to focus on your opponent's movement. And no, not those kinds of movements. Forget it, no regular schmo will ever understand. It's really about the ever-inflating action, the beautiful stages filled with hills and valleys, and bouncing between characters to learn their movesets. Number 3. Conker's Bad Fur Day.
What the damn diddly squat are you doing in my barn?
Well, I never. It's a talking pitchfork.
Not from around here, are you, boy?
Conker's Bad Fur Day is, in a sense, one of the earliest games that unintentionally tricked parents into letting kids play the game. With more people knowing about the game today, anyone would judge you for playing it in a public setting.
Thought that might have got your attention. She's lovely. That's why the wife kicked me out. All I want to do is pollinate her.
The censored swear words, bizarre cast, and violence might be fine for most. What would really get you mislabeled are a handful of highly suggestive scenes. There's the curvy sunflower at the barnyard, the caveman leader whose weakness is his falling undergarments, the living furnace whose brass balls polished to the nth degree. Need we go on?
Now that's what I call a bowel movement.
Number 2. South Park, The Stick of Truth, and South Park, The Fractured Butthole.
Nakamori! Their armor is too strong. They're wearing bicycle helmets. Where is the king?
Look, South Park has become so big that it's almost impossible to find someone who has never heard of it, or even seen the show in some way, shape, or form. That being said, we should all know why Stick of Truth and Fractured Butthole should never be played in public. Even watching one episode of the show will tell you how cheeky, overt, exaggerated, violent, and obscene South Park can get.
Do you remember why we moved to this quiet little mountain town? He doesn't remember.
He doesn't remember at all.
That's good he doesn't remember.
So imagine how far the IP can go when it isn't tied behind TV censors and is given the power to make players interact with the world. It ain't rated M for just the jokes and language.
But beware, the lands outside are full of marauding drow elves, monsters, and 6th graders. Be sure you're well equipped. Now go!
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Bayonetta series. Bayonetta is absolutely the game where a parent might call the police on you if you were to play it in a public setting. A passing glance might not register much. It's a game where a woman is beating the snot out of some demons. There's a lot of ridiculous action going on. Whatever, no biggie. Should a bystander stick around long enough, they'll soon realize that our titular protagonist gets more revealing as she uses more devastating attacks. And that goes without mentioning some suggestive shots in the cutscene. There's just no way to explain yourself out of it.
Trust me, little one. He's not my type.
In the mood for more awesome gaming content? Be sure to check out this video here on Mojo Plays. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.